What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I got an email here from Ivan. Ivan, I appreciate you. You're a great supporter of all the work that I'm doing. And so Ivan asked me a question. He said, hey, John, I have a question for you for your YouTube videos. How do you go about earning 100K a month within this 2025 year? Am I being reasonable, preferably within internet business, as it's the only thing I have at hand's reach? Note that I don't live in the US, so grabbing a piece of real estate is not as beneficial as it is in the US. Okay, so essentially what Ivan is asking me, if I'm just clear on this, is he said, okay, in 2025, how would you go about earning 100K US dollars a month? Well, here's what I would do. I'll tell you exactly what I am going to do, and I'll show you how to do this. So stay tuned. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, click that. If you haven't joined the Bulldog Mindset membership, go down the link below, click that, because you're gonna follow me on this journey. I'm gonna show you. All right, so here's what I would do. Here's what I am gonna do. I would build a high ticket program, something that you're gonna sell for $5,000 to $20,000. That's a lot. It's not just a course. You're not just gonna build a course and sell a course. That's not gonna work. It's not a good plan. What you need, if you really wanna hit 100K a month fairly easily, or it's not gonna be super easy, but what you need is something that has a high enough price point that you can afford to run paid ads to it, and that you can pay a lot of money to acquire customers. So when we do this in business, what we look at is a cost per lead, right? So how much does it cost to get a lead? How much does it cost, let's say you're doing sales calls, to get a call booked? And how much does it cost to acquire a customer? And let's say that you're running ads, and let's say you're not even great at running ads, but let's say that you can get a customer for $1,000. So that might mean that you're booking calls for $100, $200, right? And you're closing 10 to 20% of those calls when they get on a sales call. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a pretty good amount of money left over if you sell a product that's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000, so somewhere around there. Now you might say, okay, well, how do I even sell something for that amount of money? Yeah, that's not easy. All right. So what you have to do is you have to have something that you can help someone with that is worth that amount of money, that has a good ROI. So in my example, let me tell you what I'm doing. And hey, maybe you can't do this because maybe you don't have something like this. If that's the case, then you can develop your skill set, or you can find some way to arbitrage and to build something, or you could even do this as an affiliate for someone else potentially. But in my case, what I am doing is I'm building a program called the Complete Software Developer Career Accelerator. Okay, now it's based off of my book, The Complete Software Developer Career Guide. Okay, and so that's what gives me the credibility in this market to do this, because this book is sold over 300,000 copies, it has 1,200 reviews on Amazon, mostly 5-star reviews, like over 900 5-star reviews, and I think 1,200 reviews on the audio version on Audible. Okay, mostly 5-star reviews. So people definitely trust that I know what I'm talking about as far as a software developer career. All right, so this offer is to help mid-level developers. It's essentially, I will get you a senior level position. If you're a mid-level developer, I'll get you a senior level position in 6 months or less, guaranteed. And I'm gonna give them the training of what they need to know in order to do that, the hard skills stuff and the soft skills stuff, to be able to do that. And I'm gonna give them the coaching. So they're gonna have weekly coaching calls that they can jump on. It's a 12-week program. And then they're gonna have one-on-one calls with me. They're gonna have about 3 of those, and the result is guaranteed. If they do all the stuff and they don't achieve that result, they're gonna get their money back, right? So that's a solid offer. That makes sense that someone would pay 10K for that, right? Because if you're a mid-level developer, you might be making 80, 90K, maybe even 100K. But if you can get a senior level role, it could be worth $150,000 to $200,000. So you might make $50,000 to $100,000 more by taking me up on this offer. So it makes sense. All right, some of you guys, maybe you want to do it now. Okay, if you do, email me, we'll see. But I'm actually trying to not sell it to my own audience. I'm trying to sell it to cold audience to really validate and prove this out and get my systems in place, because I know it'll be easy to sell it, for example, to my email list of simple programmer people, and some of you guys that follow me from there. So if you really want to get into this, you can email me and we'll talk about it. I might open a slot for you, because I want to keep it to people that don't know me right now, but I understand if you really want to do this, because it makes sense. Okay, so that's the plan. All right, and so what am I going to do in order to execute this plan? Well, if you imagine, if I'm doing 10K on the sale, then I need to make 10 sales a month. That's not a huge number of sales. So how am I going to get those 10 sales a month? Well, and we're not talking 100K profit at this point, right? Because we're going to be running ads, we're going to be doing some stuff, we're going to have some costs there. But that means that let's say that I have a 20% close rate on the calls that I book. So that would mean that in order to get 10, right, we need to multiply that by 5. So 50, I need to do 50 calls, right? Because I'm closing 20% of them, 1 out of 5. And if I can book 50 calls in a month, then I should be able to make 10 sales. I should be able to make 10K, right? Maybe I could do better than that, right? Maybe I would do worse than that. I would need 100 calls if I did 10% close rate. That's the plan. So now we work backwards from there. We say, okay, well, if I need to get 50 calls per month, how am I going to get those calls? Now, if I have a really big audience, maybe I could get 50 calls from my audience, but this is eventually going to run out. That's why I'm not doing that. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm sourcing leads from LinkedIn. So I'm getting approximately about 10 calls booked a week from LinkedIn. Okay, so that doesn't quite get me to the 50 yet, but that's 10, 20, 30, 40. That's pretty close. So I should be able to get close to that number. But eventually what I'm going to do is run some ads, and then the goal with the ads will be to get to that at least 15 or 20 calls booked per week. And if I do that, that's it. Then all you have to do is get on those sales calls. You have to have your offer, sell that offer, and then implement the system. And I know I can help people to do this, because it's not hard for me to help someone become a senior developer and to get that job. So that's what I would do, honestly, in 2025. You just have to think of something that has a good return on investment, where it'll make sense for someone to pay you $5,000 or $10,000 or maybe $20,000. And there's a lot of examples, there's a lot of things that you can do. It doesn't have to be a scam. It shouldn't be a scam. Don't make a scam, all right? But think of something valuable. Like what I'm talking about clearly is valuable. It makes sense. Now, I had another high ticket offer. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It still exists for $5,000. You can get my Well That Never Runs Dry program, which is a financial freedom program where I'll teach you how to invest in real estate and how to build a business. That should be more valuable, and it is going to be in the future. I'm going to raise the price on that to more like $20,000, $25,000 once I have this program going. And that'll be something that if I help you get a job and help you make 50 to 100K more per year, and then I say, hey, for 25K now, I'm going to show you how to take that money, invest that money in real estate, or to invest it into building a business, you're much more likely to trust me and to get more value out of that versus someone who might not have as much money and they're paying 5K and then they're realizing, well, I don't really have enough money to invest in real estate and I'm not really dedicated to this at this point. And it's not a very, very clear, cut, dry offer. So you want to have something really clear, cut and dry that has a very specific, definitive outcome. When I'm selling the financial freedom thing, even though it's valuable and it's great, and a lot of people, I've helped so many people become financially free and to make millions of dollars. I really have through my coaching. Even though that's good, it's just not specific enough of an offer, because what exactly is the promised outcome? In this case, with the software developer, I'm saying you're going to get a senior level role in 6 months or less, and it's guaranteed. With the financial freedom offer, I'm giving you a ton of information on how to become financially free, how to invest in real estate, how to build a business, how to do all of these things, but there's no specific definite outcome that's going to be achieved in a short time frame. These are things that are going to help you in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years to become financially free. So I think you can see the difference between that. Not to say that other offer, I mean, hell, it's a deal for 5K. Let's be honest with what you're getting. But this one has a huge ROI and it makes sense. It makes sense. It's easy to convince someone to spend 10K when their money's guaranteed and their return is likely to be 40 to 50K a year or more, up to 100K more per year. So that's what I would do, is I would figure out something that I can sell for a high price that I can actually scale up with ads. And if you don't have a product yourself, maybe you could do as an affiliate. Maybe you could find someone who's selling that kind of program that's a high enough program where there's enough margin in there where if you could run ads and you could help them get leads, it'd be worth it for you. You'd have to do a lot of volume in order to do something. That would have to be a high enough price thing, but that's what I would do. That makes the most sense. It's the easiest way to get there, and it is what I'm actually doing, and you'll see me do it. Again, if you haven't joined the Bulldog Mindset membership, check it out. That's not the way that I'm gonna get to 100K. Okay, not selling a membership, for X dollars per month, but you should join it because you're gonna get a lot of info like this, and I'll be documenting that process in the membership as well, and showing you exactly how I'm doing these things, right? I'm not gonna be able to do it here on YouTube. I'll share kind of the results, but in the membership, I'm gonna show you step by step exactly what I'm doing so you can do the same thing. So if you wanna make 100K in 2025, join the Bulldog Mindset membership and see exactly how I'm doing. I'll show you.